All right, let's get started, guys. Welcome all of you to our online classroom here. So let's get started with our first questions. I'm going to go ahead and push it out to you. And here's the first one. Remember, I'm using this hat symbol for power. A lot of you actually, went online last night and asked, so how do I use the power symbol? Because I don't have the, I don't have the superscript. That's how you would type in power if you were using a computer, okay? So all you have to do is just press Shift number 6. That will give you the hat sign.
What's the star?
The star means multiplication. Okay, good. So in computer, when I have the asterisk like this, that means multiply. So I want you to go ahead and work this problem out and see what you have for the answer.
I can't answer the question.
Oh, there. Okay. So as answers are starting to come in, I want you to look at some other possibilities right here. Notice some people answer 139 as your possible answers, and others are 43. The rest are 18. Okay, for 67. I want you to think a minute here. When you have this problem, I'm just going to let me write it out so that you see what it looked like when a problem is given to you. We'll probably look something like this. Okay, what operations are involved here? Yes?
Multiplication,
Multiplications,
exponents, and addition.
exponents, and addition. Great. Okay. Remember you learned this from last year, the order of operations, right?
Yeah.
Remember PEMDAS? PEMDAS, whatever. PEMDAS. Parentheses goes first. Next is exponents. Next, multiplications and division.
Addition.
Additions and subtraction. Let me group them together here. Here's a group. Here's a group. This is individual. This is individual. If you do this, notice that the parentheses will have the highest priority. If you see parentheses, that's the first thing you're going to go into and evaluate first. Then comes the power, then your multiplications or subtractions, and then addition, subtraction. Now, why do I group these two together? Because when you see a problem that has just addition or subtractions, addition and subtractions share the same priority. They are both important at that point in time. So how do we figure out which one do we evaluate first? Addition or subtraction? So what rule do we have to follow then? If they have, if you have addition and subtraction in the same problem. Anyone? Anyone besides Adit? You guys don't remember that rule? Okay. Yes.
Whatever comes first.
Whatever comes first. Basically, you're reading from left to right. Very good. So the rule of thumb is, if you have the same priority, you are doing it from left to right. Okay? So I hope you remember that. So now going back to this problem, which is the first thing you're going to evaluate? Yes? 8 times 3. So you're saying that you're going to go and bypass the power and go straight to multiplication. The power goes first. You see that? So you're going to look at the power. 6 squared is?
36.
36. So you would rewrite the problem to be 36 plus 8 times 3 plus 7. Now what is the next step after this? Go ahead. Multiplication. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and circle that part and say 8 times 3 is? 24. So I have 36 plus 24 plus 7. I'm showing step by step. It's okay. Take it slowly, guys. Fine. As long as you get the correct answer. So notice now they're all additions. Okay, what do? You can add. Okay, just add them all up. 36 plus 24 plus 7, guess what our answer is? 67. And that's how we get our answers. Okay? I totally understand why some people got different answers, like 139 or 43, because you're not following the order of operations. Please always remember PEMDAS. PEMDAS, okay? All right? Okay, let's take a look at our next problem here, see if you have any questions on it. check this one out. So this slash here means divide. That's how we use it in the computer. So if you were to write this problem out, it will look like this. That's what it looks like. Missing 8 students still. So let's go ahead and send in the rest. Okay, so as you can see the trend already, the majority actually selecting 36 as your answers. We've got a couple of students selecting 94 as an answer, 9 as answers. The sole reason for it is because either you're not following the order of operation correctly, or you might do a miscalculation somewhere. And our job is, like I said, for this kind of problem, I know that sometimes it will take you a bit more time just to show step by step. But if you show step by step, you are guaranteed to get the correct answers almost 100% of the time, given the fact that your times are multiplying, adding, subtracting everything correctly. Notice that you see parentheses and you also see brackets, right? Mm-hmm. The brackets or the parentheses, they actually have the same priority. They're the same thing. So first, I need you to understand that. However, for this particular problem, you see parentheses inside the bracket. Right? So one inside the other. So the rule of thumb is when you see layers of parentheses or brackets with parentheses, you start from the inside out. Always start from the inside out. So you evaluate anything inside first, and then you go outside and evaluate the rest. Okay? Because we are following PEMDAS, we would just go ahead and take a look at the inside here that has parentheses right there. You see that? Okay, so what you see inside of parentheses is 6 to the third power minus 9. Is that true?
Yep.
Starting inside out, parentheses always goes first. I know I have bracket, but they're outside, so I'm just going to leave them outside for a moment. I'm just going to evaluate the inside first. What is 6 to the third?
216.
216? Okay, so there might be a miscalculation here too. Some of you might take 6 to the third and thought it was 18. Could be, right? But please remember, we talked about powers before. We have 6 to the third is 6 times 6 times 6. 216 minus 9. What is the answer to that?
207.
207. So let me rewrite that for a moment. This is inside of parentheses, right? And then you have a bracket out there. And then you have the division sign. I'm just converting it if you want to recognize this. That's fine. By 23. And then I close the bracket. And then what does this 4 do to the whole thing? Multiplication. Very good. Remember I told you the bracket is the same thing as parentheses. So when you see bracket like this, it means it's multiplied to the outside number, if it's the numbers next to it. Okay? So let's evaluate. 207 divided by 23, what will you have there? 9. 9. Times 4. 36. Is that hard to do? Not really. So you just have to pay attention a little bit. Is that true?
Yes.
And I see a lot of mistakes just because you're either rushing through the problem or you're multiplying incorrectly or dividing incorrectly. I hope you can actually avoid making this kind of mistake on your quiz or your test. Okay? So be very careful. And let's move on to this next one right here. Let's see if you can answer this. So notice I gave you an expression this time. And then for that particular expressions, I have specific value assigned to each variable. For example, x is assigned to 12. y is to 8, and z is to 3. What do you think you have to do with those values when you see a problem like this? To the number. So you're substituting, is that correct? Okay, good. So let's see what you have. This particular problem. So let's take a look. Here's the problem. You got 2 times x times y. Notice I did not say 2xy. We just talked about that yesterday. Okay, 2 is doing something to x, and x is doing something to y. So together, as a term, they're multiplying. 2 times x times y minus z to the 3rd power, everything divided by z. Okay? So that's the problem. I just go ahead and substitute everything now. So x is 12, y is 8, and minus z to the 3rd power. Well, we can just go ahead and write it like this first. Z to the 3rd, everything over z, which is 3. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Did you substitute the right number into your expression? That's the first question you should ask yourself. And the next thing is, let's follow the order of operations. I'm seeing multiplication. I'm seeing power. So obviously power will have the highest precedence, right? Priority. So I'm going to go ahead and take 3 to the 3rd power, which becomes 27. And then I can also do the next thing too, if you want to save some steps. I can just go ahead and start multiplying this too, because I know that's the next thing to do anyway, right? So what is 12 times 8 times 2? 96 times 2? 196. Okay, so you're saying 196 minus 27 over 3. What is that 196 minus 27? What? Yes. Answer? What's 196 minus 27? 160 what? 169? Is that correct? Now, what's going on? What's 16? Oh, come on, guys. What is it?
It's 192, not 196.
Okay, so as you hear, it's 192. See, I'm counting on you. 192 minus 27, which is 165. Okay, divided by 3. And of course, when you divide by 3, 3 goes to 16 5 times, and 3 goes into 15 5 times. And there you have it. The answer is 55. Question on that. Notice the step that we're taking to get to the right answer. Okay? Any questions so far on the order of operations? Is it easy enough for you to work on? Okay. All right. Take a look at our next questions. I hope we have one. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so this one asks you to do this. Look at the problem on the screen and figure out which is the first incorrect step. So here is the problem. Which is the first incorrect step? All you have to do is tell me, is it step 1, step 2, step 3, or step 4? Look carefully as the problem's being evaluated, hopefully by using the order of operations correctly. We'll see. So based on that problem alone, a lot of you said step 4 is incorrect. Some people said step 1 is incorrect. One person said step 2 now. Step 2 is incorrect. And 5 people said step 3 is incorrect. So let's kind of go back to our problem again and see what's going on, okay? And analyze it. Let's see if our 18 people here, students in this class, got the answer correct. just based on this problem. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's analyze this. Look at the problem. What's the first thing you're going to do based on the problem?
Figure out the exponents.
Exponents, because they're, okay, you're inside a bracket. We know we have to go inside a bracket and figure out which one to do first, right? Okay, and then inside a bracket you have additions, you have multiplications. Notice additions right here, you have multiplications right there, and you have power. And based on the order of operation, we know we have to deal with power first, right? So 2 to the third will give you 8. And it seems like it's correct right there. Everything looks good, right? And then over here, 2 to the second power is 4. It looks pretty good too. So is step 1 correct?
Yes.
It looks good. So step 1 is definitely okay. Moving on to step 2. 10 plus is still inside a bracket. We have addition and multiplication. Which operation should we do next? Multiplications. So 15 times 8 is 120. So looks pretty good as well. Over here, 7 times 4 is 28. I have no problem with that. Still inside our bracket. Now we evaluate the bracket. 10 plus 120, 130. Looks pretty good, right? And 28 minus 2, 26. So step 1, step 2, step 3, they're all looking perfect. Well, you know there's only one incorrect step. And look at step 4. They have to mess up. 130 divided by 26. How is it possible for you to get 1/5? You have 130 divided by 26. Okay, if you have to set up and divide it, 26 goes outside, 130 goes in. First one goes in the house, remember? 26 goes into 130. How many times? Right? It's 5, not 1/5. So because of that, we know our step 4 is the incorrect step. Okay, any questions at all on this? Okay. I think that's it for our particular lesson for today about order of operations. Your homework tonight obviously will be on this stuff. I just want to make sure that you pay attention to details when you evaluate each expression. Okay?